Hello and welcome to another episode of Signals from the Inside. I'm your host, Maisie Lovett, and this is a space where we decode the symptoms no one else can explain so you can finally spot the pattern, stop the pattern, and shift the pattern. On today's episode, I want to talk to you about how to stop self-doubt. And why does this affect your health and your business? Because it does. Same patterns that affect your health are also the same patterns that affect your business. Self-doubt is not just something that affects your confidence because it affects your body too. And I think a lot of times we don't put two and two together whenever that comes up. Most women think that self-doubt is it's something that just lives in your mind. But I want you to understand it does live in your nervous system. It is a nervous system response because your body learned, don't get it wrong. Don't make mistakes. Don't trust yourself completely. So then you second guess. Every time you get that intuitive nudge, you question it. You build suspicion around it. Am I right? Am I wrong? Is this real? Can this really be happening? There's no way that's true. There's no way that I'm seeing that. There's no way that I heard that correctly. That's where self-doubt comes in. So I want to first talk about how does it show up in the body. Number one, it can look like anxiety. But it can also play into digestive issues. I have a lot of ladies that come to me who struggle with a lot of self-doubt that have IBS issues, or they're constantly constipated. It can show up in racing thoughts. It can cause insomnia. It could show up as chronic tension in your body and just feeling overwhelmed like all the time, even over the smallest things. It's like you thrive on that pressure. You thrive on that heightened energy. Because your nervous system stays in uncertainty. It doesn't know. It really doesn't know. You're trying to predict everything. So how does this show up in your business? Again, same patterns that show up in your health are the same patterns that show up in your business. So this can create a lot of indecision. You get something that comes up, maybe you either freeze on it or you're wishy-washy. It's yes one day, no the next day. It shows up in procrastination. So even the smallest, simplest tasks could take forever to get done because it's also so easier to not do them. But again, self-doubt. What if I mess it up? What if I get it wrong? What if this isn't really what I want to do? It can show up in inconsistent visibility. So even I see this with my business owners when they're posting online. Some days they're great and then they're like, oh, here comes the doubt. Nobody's liking my stuff. No, none of this is happening. So therefore I'm not going to do it. And they're making 1 + 3 = 2 and it doesn't. Your inconsistent visibility is because there is a lack of trust in yourself to actually get it right. You're verifying and confirming the narrative that's already built in the brain, which we're going to talk about. Constantly changing direction. So again, that wishy-washiness, undercharging. I see this with a lot of clients who undercharge. Oh, it's not that big of a deal. Well, yes, it is. And then I'll wait until I'm ready. I don't want to get started just yet. I don't want to get it wrong. It needs to be perfect before it gets done. Now let's flip that and let's talk about how to start healing it. Number one, I want you to find one area of your life that you already trust yourself in. Because what we need to do is build from evidence. That is the only way that you're going to show your nervous system, I am right. Where was I right before? How have I done this correctly before? And where did I pivot whenever I needed to? I don't have to be perfect. The second thing that I want you to do is stop asking yourself, what if I'm wrong? I can't tell you how many times this question has come up so much in my mind, me. Because this is a hard thing for me. Self-doubt. I want you to flip it. I want you to get curious. Because when you start getting curious about things, it removes the self-doubt and it removes the suspicion. Get curious. Get curious. Curiosity can play so much into and this is what I do in my business. If I make a post and let's say it's been crickets for a little bit and I'm like, God, why is it crickets? Because I can fall back into old patterns. It does happen. I have to practice getting out of that. Then I get curious. What are other people looking for from me? What are people excited to hear from me? What have, other people been, putting their eyes on already? When you get curious, you start unlocking different channels of the brain and you start receiving more from the universe. Again, you're building evidence. That's all you're doing. When you get curious, you get out of the negative mindset and you put yourself into a possibility space. When you're in possibility, you can see more direction. You can feel more come to you and you're open to more opportunities. The third thing that I want you to do is create a self-trust journal. Now, this is something that I do with my clients because this helps you to build that evidence. But you're going to track decisions that you've made, the outcomes, and the lessons learned, good and bad, good and bad. But this is how you're going to build a self-trust journal because from there, those lessons learned is how you're building evidence in, I'm so glad it went this way than what I was thinking. Because had it gone the way that I was thinking, something else could have come up. You're just shifting that mindset again out of the negative and into the possibility and opportunity. Build the evidence. And then number 4, take action before certainty. Take action before certainty. Confidence follows action, not the other way around. So you have to have courage first, and then confidence follows that when you've put it into practice. When you practice being courageous in something you've never done before, then you are building the confidence. Because confidence is going to follow the actions that you take place. And the more evidence that you build off of that, the more confident you become. Self-doubt is not a confidence problem. It is a safety problem. When you create the safety in your nervous system, you expand yourself for more opportunities and possibilities. As always, if you like the content that I'm putting out, give me a like, give me a share, hit subscribe. And if you felt like this leads more into, oh my God, Mace, I'm struggling in my business. I'm struggling in my health. I don't know what to do here. DM me MAP. Let's have a conversation. Let's talk about your business, talk about your goals, talk about your struggles, and let's really bridge the gap between the two so you can identify what do you need right now to spot the pattern, stop the pattern, and shift the pattern for good. And I will catch you guys on the flip side.